Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. My name is Father Mike Bruto, the Associate Director of Vocations here in the wonderful Archdiocese of Los Angeles. And we gather here today on this fourth Sunday of Advent, once again to break open God's Word and to ask ourselves that question of what God is inviting us into, those words of invitation. And so, our gospel on this day is once again the beautiful gospel of the Annunciation, which I'm sure so many of you are familiar with. That moment when the angel Gabriel came to our Blessed Mother saying that you are going to be the mother of God. And there's two powerful phrases that we hear from our gospel today that I want us to reflect on. The first is when the angel Gabriel says to Mary, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." And the second, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God." When we look at those beautiful lines, those are words that are spoken directly to us as well. Because one of the things we have to recognize is that through our baptism, we have received that grace of God. And as we continue to acknowledge God's presence, He continues to bestow His blessings upon us. Every single time we gather for Mass, we hear that beautiful invitation, "The Lord be with you." And what we have to then be able to recognize is that those words open us up once again to that presence of God that comes powerfully throughout the entire Mass as we gather, as we listen to the gospel, as we prepare for the Eucharistic prayer, and as we are sent forth. And those words continue to be spoken to us wherever we are, letting us know, or once again inviting us to recognize that the Lord is with us. But do we believe it, my friends? Do we acknowledge it? Do we truly understand that as we have journeyed throughout the season of Lent, as we've lit the fourth candle this Sunday, that we are journeying closer and closer to the birth of Christ? But also, Christ continues to journey with us every single day. And if we understand and believe that, it then invites us to respond with our lives. Now, I know when we look at our life today, sometimes we may be filled with anxiety. Sometimes we may be filled with worry and fear, or stress, or pain, or sorrow. But that's where those second words of our gospel today speak so profoundly. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of what we are experiencing. Do not be afraid of the challenges that we face. Do not be afraid to respond with our lives to what God invites us into. Because if we think about it, my friends, God has found favor with all of us because He has chosen us to do His will in all things. And if we say yes, that beautiful fiat of our Blessed Mother, "May it be done to me according to thy word," that's where once again we experience that happiness, that joy, and that peace that we all seek. And so that's what I invite us all into today, on this fourth Sunday. Once again calling to mind that God has a plan for each of us, that God has a mission, and on this day, He's inviting us to be with Him, to trust in Him, to have hope and strength and courage through Him, and then to say yes in all we do. Have a blessed fourth Sunday of Advent and an early Merry Christmas. God bless everyone.